YouTube. This is a video on using high-speed sync and seeing how much sacrifice of the flash are you actually sacrificing by upping your shutter speed over the sync speed of your camera. Now, my sync speed on the 50D, which I used here, is 1/250th of a second. I did do a video similar to this yesterday, but our lass was messing around getting changed in the background, which I didn't realise, so I had to remove it. But this one's slightly better anyway. So basically, what we did here was I set my flash on full power. I bounced it over. The camera was on a tripod, and I bounced the flash over my left shoulder. Now that's actually a window behind. That's why you can see little bits of muck on window. It's my upstairs window. It's pretty dark outside, as you can see, at 2/50th of a second at 5.6 ISO 100. It's really dropping in dark now, and that's the exposure that I got. Now, the reason why I did this was just to show you that ambient light has nothing to do with the exposure on the flower, which we're going to get in a minute. Now, I haven't done this to try and mix the ambient with a flash. It's merely about watching that flower and watch what happens to it when I adjust my shutter speed in high speed sync. So the first shot, obviously the flash was turned off, but it was set on full power, zoomed in at 35mm and bouncing off of a wall which was quite far away. So I'm not saying that, like here it is, there's the shot when I turned on the flash, and as you can see, the flower is nice and bright. Don't get me wrong, the flash has spilled too much onto the window as well, but that's not the point here. You're taking a look at the flower. So there you go. Now if you watch the next shot, this one, it's the same shot, flash on full power, nothing was changed. All I did was adjust the shutter speed from 2/50th of a second to 1/320th, which is 1/3 of a stop above the sync speed. But obviously I had high speed sync turned on, that's why we've got no black line. But can you see, I'll just press the C key, can you look at the one on the left and the one on the right and really see how much flash power that I lost by just upping my shutter speed? Now, I always knew there was a sacrifice to using high speed sync, because the way high speed sync works is your flash stays on for the full exposure and you do lose a bit of power. But I didn't realise it was so much. I mean, looking at that, that's not far off of a full stop of light difference on the left flower to the right. I mean, that's just guessing. I haven't got a light meter, but if I go like that, 2/50th sync speed, 3/20th, just breaking it slightly, look at the flower. I mean, oh my god, that's a lot. That's definitely, so for 1/3 of a stop over on my shutter speed, I've nearly lost a full stop of light from the flash, which is a pretty big sacrifice. Then if I go to 1/400th of a second and 1/800th of a second, so if we just click that and then we press C, right, that's on the right, there's a 3/20th of a second. Now there's, all I'm adjusting now is the right photo. Is it 1/400th of a second? And then 1/800th. So, I mean, there isn't really much difference on the flower between 3/20th and 800. So to break your sync speed, if you want to squeeze more out of your flash, you're probably better slowing your shutter down to 1/250th or 1/200th of a second and upping your aperture instead, to say maybe 4 to a 5.6 or a 6.3, instead of trying to shoot at f4 at 800th of a second, because going over your sync speed really makes big sacrifices on the power. So hopefully this video has helped a lot of people and opened their eyes to, if they need to squeeze a little bit more out of the flash, like on a sunny day and you can't do it because you're at 500 or 800 of a second at f4 and you can't quite get enough about it out of your flash, whereas if you drop to 2/50th and go to an f7.1, you'll probably get the power you need, even though in reality you wouldn't think that would work, but it will do, because breaking your sync speed sacrifices, like, well, 1/3 of a stop on my shutter over my sync speed from 2/50th to 3/20th is 1/3 of a stop. Took nearly a full stop of power off of my flash, so it's quite a big sacrifice. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please comment and subscribe.